right, it's setting up.
Okay.
Oh, I love this technology when it works to my advantage.
Come on here. Ain't it good?
Come on, Advantage.
Good
Oh, here
morning,
we go.
Laura. Oh, thank you for joining us, sweetie. Hey, guys. Hello, we are live. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm super duper excited. You guys, this is day one of the Right to Heal, the Art of Letting Go free virtual summit. Thank you for joining us today. I have a panel of powerhouses coming to you at noon during your lunch break. You know, you got like 10, 20, 45 minutes to share. If you haven't already, let me go over a couple of house rules. First, I'm Jay.
Hey, Jamie.
My name is Jay. I'm the founder and CEO of Jay Publishing, which is a hybrid publishing company. I help authors turn their pain into paper. What that mean, y'all? Yeah, that means you're going to have to come see me and holler at me. So right now, I'm going to check to make sure that all is well online and that we're feeding well. You know, technology is what it is. It hasn't really been my intimate partner. It's really been like a side boo for me. And so it acts like it sometimes. So I just want to make sure that we are live, right?
Yes, we are. I can see everyone.
Oh, we are live. And so for those who are coming in, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Hey, the registrants that are with us in Zoom, thank you for joining us. Love.
Oh my gosh, the love.
You get the special VIP treatment because those who have registered for the summit, and if you registered at bit.ly/WTH Summit 19, you get up close and personal with the panelists, with the experts that are on the panel. You get to ask them all kinds of questions that you need answered within your business, within your life, within your spiritual walk and your journey. You get to ask those questions in the chat box. So if you have any questions, don't delay. Listen, we are here to serve you. Take advantage of this moment. Take advantage of the next 45 minutes or so that you have with us. The ladies here, they come packed with knowledge. And so you want to take advantage of that. This is your time to do it. You may not get this opportunity again. Who knows? And let me rephrase that. You won't get this opportunity again for free. You won't get it free again. So when you have the opportunity to get in front of powerhouses, you definitely want to do that. You definitely want to take advantage. For those who are in Facebook land, hey, thank you for joining us for free. All I ask for you to do is share the broadcast. And if you want replays, if you want the goodies, if you want the resources, if you want up close and personal, bit.ly/WTH Summit 19. You have to register. The link is in the chat box. The link is in the description box. I mean, it's all over. It's all on my page. It's everywhere. So come on and join us. Join the love. We look forward to having you. And without further ado, guys, because I'm tired of talking and I'm ready. I don't know about you, but listen, this is what I brought with me. I brought my pad and I brought my pen because they're about to drop some knowledge on you all. And so day one of the Right to Heal Summit is about to take full blast off. Are you ready? If you're ready, hit I'm ready in the chat box. I want to see it. Come on, hit it. Let me check and see if anybody hitting it. Right. And, you know, for those who are ready to start a watch party, that's a great way to get this message out there. Go ahead and hit that watch party because you already know that these ladies are about to bring it. So go ahead and hit the watch party. Invite your friends. You don't want to grow alone. You want your friends to grow with you. You don't want to leave them. You want to make all this money. Bring your friends with them so they can make the money and you don't have to drop them later. Okay? Everybody go together. That's all I'm saying. Everybody go together. So I am going to introduce to you our first amazing speaker. I told them earlier behind the scenes, I was like, listen, I'm not gonna tell people who you is. I'm not, because I wouldn't give it as much justice. I would probably leave some stuff out or whatever, but it's nothing like, and this is what we're teaching you today, it's nothing like owning your own voice. Like Tamika, Deanna, Steph, they can tell you who Jamie is, but can't nobody tell you who Jay is but Jay like I can. Right? Can't nobody tell you, like I learned through my healing process to discover the power of my voice. And so now that I know the power of my voice, I have no problem telling you, like, look, listen, this is what I do. I'm a healer and I teach you how to heal. Simple and plain as that. Either you want it or you don't. But I can tell you about me. So our first speaker, she's going to talk to you and she's going to come to you and she's going to say, and she's going to share with you how to uncover what's in plain sight. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you guys, my beautiful friend, my beautiful co-host, Miss Stephanie Nelson.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Jamie, for sharing your platform with me today. Thank you for the opportunity to kick off the Right to Heal, the Art of Letting It Go virtual summit. And honestly, guys, today, I am, obviously, my name is Stephanie Nelson. I am the CEO of Nelson Legacy Enterprises, where I am teaching both entrepreneurs and authors and speakers how to write, get paid, and build a legacy. Okay, and so that has that's we're gonna leave it right there. And so, hey Warren, hey Gretchen, everybody's in the chat saying they are ready. And guess what? You guys are making me, are giving me the energy that I need to kind of get ready to share. So here's what my topic today is: uncover what has been hidden in plain sight. Okay, and so for me today, I'm going to be completely transparent. Today is my father's birthday. My father has been deceased for, this is going on maybe 4 years now, maybe 4, almost 5 years now. I was a daddy's girl. I was a woman who I curled up with my daddy, okay? And I loved him because he was the father that every girl dreams of. I mean, he was the man who he was always there. I always tell the story that when if I was in a play and I was a part of the stage crew, I was dressed in all black. The theater was black. The stage was black. The curtains were black. My father could pick me out of a completely black crowd, no light, nowhere. And he would be like, that right there is my daughter. That's the level of how much he knew me, right? He created me. He helped create me, right? But that's how much he knew who I was. So I'm starting with that story because we're going to talk about how to uncover what's hidden in plain sight. It looks like there are 3 things we're going to talk about, okay? We're going to talk about the external you, we're going to talk about the internal you, and we're going to talk about the intimate you, okay? If you've got that, point number 1, external you. Number 2, internal you. Number 3, intimate you. If you think about it from the Christian perspective, right, we deal with the tabernacle. Let me tell you why I'm bringing this up, because Jamie she goes insane over the tabernacle, okay, and that teaching and that learning. And so I wanted to break it down for people who might be like, I don't want to talk about just ye. I don't want to talk about that, okay? But here's what it comes down to. There's the outer court, the inner court, and holies of holies. What I'm suggesting to you is that there are layers to who we are. In order to get to you, you've got to go through the layers. So externally, what people see when I am represented in the marketplace as strong, consistent, very, very hardworking, always available to people, right? And I position it that way on purpose. Somebody who is smart but not braggadocious, right? I'm not gonna come in here and be like, I know everything. I can't learn nothing. No, I can learn from everybody something. And so what I'm suggesting to you is externally, okay, today, I'll give you a great example. My hair all twisted up. I got on lipstick, but my friends, but my friends who are on this panel who know me, when you see me on a regular, come on, regular. Yes, regular. When you see me on a regular, because you have access to who I am, you don't see all this here. Okay, ain't no lipstick on. These locks ain't twisted up. Okay, they down. They doing whatever they do, however they do it. Okay, but what people are interested in is not necessarily the external person. They want the intimate you. Right? So there's a journey to get to that place. Number one, when you're an external person, you typically give off what is masked. What is the mask, right? It's the mask. It's the part of you that says, oh, I just want to make sure everybody sees me as a tech guru or as a business coach that helps people get paid to write their story. Okay? That's what you want externally for people to see. But the internal person, right, that really, and here's the part that I think is amazing, is that you always externally in your mind want people to see a certain part of who you are, but the internal you always cracks through. It always cracks through because the external shell of a person is typically a thin shield. It's a thin layer. In the reproduction of a woman, it's called the hymen. It's a thin layer of skin. Yes, I'm walking down it. It's a thin layer of skin, but when you insert, there's a gush of what? Blood, right? Come on, work with me, work with me, work with me. Calm yourself. Children, leave the room, child. Okay, but that thin layer of skin unlocks what? Reproductivity. So you literally have a thin layer that protects you. External you is typically very thin. It's a thin place. It is not something that has ground. It's not grounded. It literally is the protective shell. Think of it, and it's not a good protective shell. It's glass. It's the thing that we think is covering up who we really are, but it's glass, and it can be easily shattered. However, the internal you, in order for you to experience what I consider the message of wholeness, in order for you to experience wholeness, right, you've got to be willing to look at who you really are at your core. That core you is made up of two parts. It's the internal and the intimate. It's made up of two parts. Right? And so what I want to submit to you today, guys, and the outcome of this conversation that we're having is that those three parts of who you are literally what you consider a treasure. It's a treasure. The tabernacle, if you look at it in its entirety, there is a bloody place, right? The altar, right? When you go in, take it a step further, the altar of the bloody place, literally, everything dies there. Everything dies there. The next level of internal literally is a place that has a protective area around it, right? There's a protective area. And then of course, there is the curtain, of course, Jesus rent, but there's a curtain that protects the intimate, holy place of you. I am suggesting today that, lady and gentleman, until you unlock what you think people don't see and become what you are on the intimate side. I'm not saying that it's not, that it doesn't need to be guarded, that it doesn't need to be protected, but I'm telling you, when you expose it at the time that is kind of purposed for you. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about writing to heal. When you write the book about the thing that's most intimate to you, you literally get an opportunity to not just expose what we already see in some ways, but now we put that on display to free us from what it is that has held us captive. In the tabernacle, when you would, in the holies of holies, before Jesus rent the veil, there was a chain on the bottom of the priest's ankle. And the chain made a noise when he was moving, that he wasn't killed from the sin that he may have had. Right? So he wasn't killed from it. So he could shake his ankle for the people to know he's still there. He's still alive. He was not full of sin. Right? What am I saying? There is something that's making noise in you. There's something in you that's making noise. And honestly, the community of people that you're around, they hear the noise. They know you're alive. They know it's something in there. They know something is shaking around. It is our job to expose that place for the growth and opportunity of people who may not ever get a chance to experience a holy place, an intimate place. If you want to see an intimate place in a person, you've got to be willing to face what it is in you that could be considered dark, could be considered lonely, could be considered not as pretty, right? It could be wrapped in tattered clothes. It could be a dead thing, right? But what I'm suggesting is, if you expose it, what we consider to be the most amazing experience in the Christian lifestyle is when the revelation of the Ark of the Covenant came about. So it's the similar concept when you think about the three places that happen to be inside of you. You've got to be willing to deal with the outcome, the beauty of the covenant relationship you have with yourself and your God. And so my suggestion to you today is to really deal with the external you, peel it back, right? The internal you, deal with that. Come away from this thinking, I've got to examine who I really am, that people already know and see it. I propose to you today that you write it down. I'm not saying, well, I am saying publish a book, but I'm saying write it down. Start with a journal. Start with an opportunity to expose the internal you, and guess what happens? As a result of writing those things down to heal from what it is that may ail you, okay? It is the opportunity to expose the intimate you. You can't get to the intimate you until you get through the external and the internal. The intimate you is the treasure of who you are. That treasure has to be set on a hill to be exposed to the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, final thought. If you get nothing else from the time that I've talked to you, hear me when I say writing the message helps you get clarity. That clarity transitions you into an intimate connection with the internal you that ultimately exposes you to the intimate you. The intimate you is how you turn your pain and your promise and your purpose and your everything into paper. And we say paper because there is a play on words there, right? So it's paper in the sense of actual physical paper, books, and then there's another play on words of making sure that that paper is money, currency that you can see, and it can change your life, and then you change other people's lives, because the opportunity for you to make money from going through all of the steps of external, internal, and intimate, is the purpose of all of that is to ensure that we see results. And so as we go through this virtual summit this week, examine where you are. When you hear a message from one of the speakers, think about, am I at the external place, the internal place, or the intimate place within myself? At what stage am I in, so that I can bring all of what's in me into fruition? The legacy of who I am is wrapped in how my father carried me, right? And that part is intimate. That's the intimate memories that I have of him, right? Those are the things that have helped me become Stephanie, and not Stephanie, the one that's just external, the face and the facade, but the intimate Stephanie who thrives on personal, intimate relationships with people and getting to know them in a real way. So guys, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for the opportunity for me to share. And next up, my dearest, and she is a part of, I'm going to stop talking now, but thank you guys for letting me share.
No, I didn't mean for you to stop. Stephanie, the bloody place. Can we put a pin? Like, y'all didn't know that day one we were going to go real deep, right? I mean, in order for you to get to that place where you're free to write and you're not bound by what other people are going to think or how this is going to affect anything around you, but then you realize the importance of your freedom, that you have to do this thing. You've been wanting to do it for such a long time. You've been holding back for such a long time, and for various reasons. And sometimes life can get so busy and it can cover up the thing that you can't avoid anymore. And so now we're in your face, one of the Right to Heal Summit. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank everyone that's on Facebook. Go ahead and share this broadcast. Start a watch party. Bring your friends in. Hey, grab some popcorn, pen, paper, and join us for this summit. It's going to be amazing. It is already amazing. Like Steph, the bloody place. I feel like I need to write a whole book on just the bloody place. Like, there's so many different ways that you can take this and you can go with it. But if you're looking at the external you're looking in the wrong place.
The wrong place. Even though it's the place of sacrifice.
It is the place of sacrifice. A lot of people.
It's the place of sacrifice.
They just the external place. Because I don't feel good on the inside, at least I look good on the outside. And then it's not even in the internal place. The breakthrough, the change that has, because you can change on the outside. And that thing, something called what they call gravity, aging, all that stuff can change, right? You can change some things on the inside.
Some. Yep. That's the internal. That right.
Thing. And that change won't last, because life will happen. Somebody pass away, and then you got to do that work all over again. Somebody will offend you, and you got to do that work all over again. But when you reach that intimate place, that's a change in you, that no matter what happens in life, that change never changes. It is constant. It is everlasting.
Yeah.
And that intimate place, y'all don't want this. I'm going to tell you about that intimate place. Psalm 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place.
You didn't go there, did you?
I did go there. But I'm going to stop right there, because I got to bring up Steph. Thank you. Oh, my God, Steph. Woo, honey.
Yeah.
Dropped on us. Oh no, I said I was
Oh,
going
yes.
to the broadcast to be slain, but I want to be slain right now. Like, I just want to, like, come on, like, look,
Right.
come on, God, take all this bloody stuff out of me.
Yes.
Break that stuff that I've been, you know, sometimes blood, it can be on the scar for so long that it dries up.
It's nasty, child.
And it becomes hard.
Mm.
You gotta go through that healing all over again because you didn't clean the first time. Woo! Girl, come on, y'all. Listen. We talking about the inner you. Steph, I'm gonna put you on mute real quick, and then open up the floor to my friend right here, Miss Deanna. So listen, you guys. If you're not in a space where, if you've been here for what, the past 20 minutes or so, and you got your whole life together with Stephanie, we're about to continue this thing on here with Miss Deanna, who talks about your voice and the power of your voice. And this, I'm telling you, you haven't heard it like this before. Like, it's not, you hear my voice now and it's all sexy and cute and yeah, that's nice. But what's behind this voice? What's the power behind this voice? What's the weakness behind this voice? What's the mystery behind this voice? Come on, Miss Deanna, take it away, honey. It's all you.
Hi, you guys. I know. I hope everybody's well and everything. I wanted to introduce myself before I told you, like, my name is Deanna Marie. It's like a slate. I know, it's like, hi, my name is Deanna Marie. Okay. And so, but I wanted to tell you guys something really quickly. I'll give you peace when the storm is raging. I'll be your light when you're weary, weak, and torn. Believe in my power, and I will take care of you. Anything you need, have faith in me. Just ask. Just ask in my name. Hi, you guys. So I just wanted to tell you, like, listen, my name is Deanna Marie, and I am the gift of voice. I am a classically trained soprano, but I also am an international vocal coach, and I help speakers, and singers to find their gift, their true gift behind their voice. And it was so many things that were said today. So I just want to let y'all know, I'm going to need a warning when 20 minutes, like, throw me a finger. Throw me your fingers, it's fine. It's okay. Okay, so you guys, I'm a free spirit. All the way, floating, all the time. I know. And I think it's great. So what I'm telling you, like, I don't have any points for you. Catch it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Catch what's yours, hold on to it. If the shoe fit, wear it, put it on. Don't even give it back. Keep it. Because some of y'all need it. And it's all right. It's all right. Okay? So okay, y'all know I'm a little touched. You can already tell it's fine. Okay, it's chill. It's okay. So, okay. So it was so many great things said today, and I kind of want to, I want to let y'all know. I was really thinking about what I was going to talk to you guys about, and I had something all planned out. I was thinking about it all week long. Like, it has a space in your brain until it happens, and then you write it out, and everything is how you want it. Huh? And then I said, oh, wait, it's how I want it. Let me see what you want. Okay. So what I did this morning, I looked at the list. For those of you who did register, thank you for registering. Also, for those of you who answered the feedback, what you hope to learn, thank you. Because I thank you, first of all, for the obedience to register and to come and to take the time to be here. But I also thank you for being transparent. Everybody not able to do that. even when you're writing it down, because what if somebody did, what if this isn't anonymous? What if they have my name and they know my secret? Okay. But so I thank y'all for that. So this morning, plans changed. I know. I know. But let me tell you something. You know, we do a lot of planning. You know, as business owners, as friends, our man, how we want our wedding to be, all these things is great, right? I know. And then it never turns out that way. I know. And you like took so much time to plan it out only to let it go. So I want to talk to y'all about some of these really questions really touch my heart. And I'm looking over here at them. They really, but a consensus for me, for everybody is what I felt, because I'm a spiritual person. So I'm led by the Spirit for what to say and who to speak to. So that's why I say just catch it, because I'm probably talking to you if you feel it. You know what I'm saying? It is for you. People are hurting. Overall, people are hurting. People don't understand what's going on. They don't understand what's going on in their life. They don't understand the whys, and they feel trapped. People feel like God doesn't love them. God has forgotten them. People don't understand how to get through a pain once you've been hurt by your mom, your dad, your sister, brother. How do you get through this? I messed up myself. And I'm not talking about me particularly, but I'm going to tell you about me in a second. But I used to strip, and I used to be a prostitute, and I don't know how I'm going to bounce back from that because I went to prison. And so it doesn't matter what it looks like. What it ends up being is the same thing. When you boil it all the way down, it's all the same thing. It's pain, it's hurt, and you need some direction. And I think you just need to find your voice. And how do you do that? Because Stephanie, you said something. You have to be who you are. You have to be who you are. But I needed to take that point and everything that I just told you to tell you this. Most people, I've come to the realization, most people don't know how to get who they are. So what do we do instead? We avoid ourselves. We look for other people. We look for a man. We look for a coach. We look for a woman, anything to try to help us to find our voice instead of looking within. But how do you do that? How do you do that? And it takes so much time because we don't have it, because we got money to make. And let me tell you a secret. You will still be looking until you find who you are and understand whose you are. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how. Now, I'm not saying it won't take off some stress, but in an area. But is that important? Because we're meandering through life, and it's an ebb and flow of being confused because we don't know who we are. We're looking for money, or we're looking for this person or this thing or this business idea, and all these things to simply avoid ourselves. So let me tell you how I did it, and I hope that it helps you. And just so. And how I use what I do, being a vocal therapist. I am a therapist, right? But then I use my international vocal coaching, and I put it together, and I help people to come up with a script that ebbs and flows with who they are. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Stephanie, I know you're really really close to your father, and I know how you feel, how he felt, how much weight that has on you, right? So when we do our coaching, for example, I'll say, Stephanie, when you introduce yourself, how would you do it if your father was staring at you? You understand? So you begin to put the person back into themselves in a way that they haven't even looked at it before. And this helps them attract money. Because people want authenticity. They want who you are. And if you're so busy worrying about you gotta follow this program and that program, you gotta do A, B, and C, sometimes it's not for you. Sometimes you have to get back to who you are, and we avoid things. So how I did it was I went back to every single situation in my life that hurt me. Every single person. Okay? Everything. One at a time. So it took me some years because I done been through some things. I done seen some things. Just to graze it a little bit, just to let you know. You know, I'm writing my book, one of them, from the crack house to the opera house, you see. So I understand the pain that you feel. I understand the confusion that you feel. I had to go back when I was getting high. You talk about your father. I love that. I was getting high with my mom, Stephanie. You understand? I remember the first time I smoked a pipe. I asked my mom to use hers. You see, you got to go back through. You got to go back through some of the people that touched me, some of the times that I tried to commit suicide, going through foster care. You understand, feeling neglected, feeling unwanted from a child. Okay, and you got to go through those things, y'all, because if I didn't go through them, I wouldn't be who I am. And I am Deanna Marie, the gift of voice. Okay, and so even after the drugs and after everything, I went and got several degrees. You know, I'm one of those people that got more degrees than a thermometer. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I had to do that for me because I was labeled stupid, dumb. They told me I wouldn't do anything. You have a learning disability. You'll never understand. You went to 10 different elementary schools. You're just not going to get it. You're a lost one. So I had to get all the degrees, not for me, not for you, because I can care less. It was for me. You understand? And so sometimes people have to go through different things. Every walk looks different. People might think, oh, she thinks she all that because she got all them degrees. No, I don't. I remember when I was nothing. You don't know my story. So every person that has ever done anything, any harm to you, I sit back and I think about the conversations that I have had with you, Tamika, with you, Stephanie, the conversations that Jamie, we should probably have, okay? And I think about, why did I meet these people at this time, at this place? What am I going through? So I spend hours. That's why you can't let a whole bunch of people in. You can't even let a whole bunch of, because you have to begin to slow down and analyze, because you're missing who you are because we're moving too fast. We got too many projects going on, too many partnerships, and we lose track of who we are. And then because we lose track of who we are, we're losing momentum in our businesses because people want to know who you are. So it's not in your voice, in your vernacular, behind the scene, behind what you're saying. We don't know who you are because now you're just a salesperson. Now you're just sounding just like your coach, or now and it's just gone too far because you don't know who you are, because you haven't taken the time to do that. Okay, so what I do, so when I say I help you find your voice, see, you get several things with me because I use the therapy and I also use what you're saying to merge the two together. And then we strengthen that which we call your voice, because the voice is a muscle, understand? Everything I'm talking about is a muscle, whether it's in the spiritual or natural realm. Meaning you got to do it over and over and over again. And over and over and over again until you get that one thing right. And then, thank you, Stephanie, for the conversation this morning. And then you go and you do something else right. And so that's what you have to do. That's how you do it. A lot of people like, how do what somebody say, how do I get over things that I have gone through? I don't think you ever get over it, but you learn from it. You say, you know what? Because I learned from some of the people that touched me. Somebody touched them. Somebody touched them. They seen some things that I even have never seen. And then you begin to take this bitterness, that it's hatred, this understanding that you have for this person and this thing, and you begin to see deeper into yourself. Because the thing, I'm not happy that I was touched or neglected, but I got a fire inside of me that nobody can take out. You understand? I got a skill inside of me that few in the world have, because I've gone through what I've gone through. You see? So that's how you do it. You said, man, look, man, I've been through all that. Look, I'm still blessed. I'm still living. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive another day to let somebody know who I am. But you got to take the time and be patient with yourself to end up, so you can understand that everything is a process. Everything from the way your mother raised you to from the way, all of it is who you are. So now you have to stand back and say, oh my goodness, when I was young, oh my, and you will be surprised the things that really come up. You will be surprised, but you got to take the time to do that. You have to, I just wrote a book, New Year, Find You. It's so many lost people out here. You got to find who you are. That's what it is. And it's a wonderful journey. I got all kind of gold on the way before I got to like, oh, It's endless. And it's not about money. I'm talking about freedom within yourself, a free voice. You're talking with your own voice, with your own strong voice. Everything that you have gone through, it was meant to strengthen you, but you can't run from it. And a lot of people, I notice a lot of business owners and a lot of speakers and different things that use their voices. We can tell the spirit that's not in your voice, and you don't understand the psychology behind saying things a certain way. You know, the voice is powerful. The word was first. The word was God is first. You know, the words that we speak start and end wars. People don't think about that. They don't think about that. And so so if you want to go to the next level, not in just in your business, in your life, you need to access your voice. And to do that, you have to meander inside of every single thing that you've ever gone through. And that might take you some years. That might take you some journaling. That might take you to these questions that we avoid because we just don't have time to answer because we got something to do. We got a meeting. So I really can't take the time to tell you like what I see for my whole life. So busy. Busy doing what? You know, a lot of people are just merely existing and they're not living. You're going after the wrong thing. Go after yourself and everything else will come into place. And yeah, so that's what I got, y'all. Yeah. And so I hope some of y'all join me on my show. I have right here on Facebook, Wednesdays with You, where I aim to provoke your thoughts and challenge your views on everyday life. I say this lunchtime manna, okay? Because it's time to eat and it's time to be nourished and not just full, you understand? So I really thank you, Jamie, for allowing me to be here. I thank you for seeing something and feeling it and being obedient to the call. I thank each and every one of you for just being here and being present. And it is my hope that you got something out of it. Because I really, that's what I aim. It's time for people to be free and break the shackles. And in order to do that, that takes time. That takes time that nobody has because we're building on something. We're building on the wrong thing. We're building on quicksand. It's time to build on a sturdy foundation. And that all starts with you. So.
Yo! Miss Deanna Marie, honey.
That's it.
Blessed my entire life.
Amen.
Honey, it's really, I have learned to love my voice. And getting to this place now, and I thank you everyone for sharing, everyone who's just blowing up the comments in Facebook. Hey, we're going to go back and look at all those comments, but you know what? It's too good to stop and acknowledge everything and everyone. I want you to know I appreciate you for watching. I really, really do. Thank you so much. We will come back into the comments after the broadcast and answer all of your questions and respond to and give you all the love and appreciation. But what's flowing right now, what I want you to understand right now is that what's flowing right now is what is designed, which is predestined. My favorite scripture is Romans 8:28. But then I began to read past 28. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. But if you go into 29 and 20 and 30 and 31, it talks about those who are called, and those whom he called, he's also predestined. And don't get me started. Right? Y'all don't want to get me started. So when I talk about predestined, I think of Right to Heal Summit. I think of this platform. It's not something that I decided to just like, hey, let me just do the summit real quick. Because this is my very first one, y'all. So I've been hiding from this moment for quite some time. But now everything that you see here, and let me tell you, if you want to get up close and personal to Miss Deanna Marie, now is your time. You need to bit.ly/WTH Summit 19. Those who are registered are already here with us in the Zoom. You have up close and personal contact with Miss Deanna Marie, Miss Stephanie, and then you're about to really understand who's about to come next. I don't think you guys understand the power of this opportunity that you're missing out on if you don't register. Why am I not making it really publicly and free? Because see, there's value in information, and there has to be there's this principle called seed and harvest, right? And so if you don't plant nothing, you don't get nothing. And so that's why there was a requirement for you to register, because if you don't put in investments in your healing, if you don't put in any investments in your next level, then you get what you get. But if you wanna just, hey, to register is free. But to get the goodies, you got to come behind the scenes and get it, right? And so, Miss Deanna, when you talked about, I wrote down, listen, y'all, I ran out of space on here. Between me and Deanna, I ran. So obviously, you need to bring, I have to go back to my big book.
All right.
But Miss Deanna, you said something in the beginning that you said you got to put the person back into themselves.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in a high chair right now, y'all. Y'all think because I look tall. That's why I can look tall, because I'm really
right. Yeah.
But I almost fell out my high chair. Put the person back into themselves. Yeah. So oftentimes life can cause us to focus so much on what everybody else wants for us. I've been there. Mm-hmm. If you want to be saved, you got to dress like this. You got to talk like this. You got to act like this. You got to go to these places. You have to, and it makes you into this person that you've a long time forget who you really, really are.
Oh, it's good.
You forget who you are because you became this person that everybody wanted you to be. And then you keep wondering, like, I'm doing everything you're telling me to do, but you still keep telling me to change this and change that. Like nothing I do ever pleases you. Who said that? Who said that before? Huh? Who said I changed my hair, but now you said you want it short, but now you want it long. You said you want it blonde, but now you want it black. I keep making all these changes, but it never seems to satisfy you. And then you meet an amazing soul like Miss Deanna Marie. And she's like, no, boo, it's not out there. I'm going to show you. It's different, Miss Deanna, when somebody says you need to be who you are authentically. Right. I said authentically. You need to be who you are at the core. And they walk away. Right. But no. Miss Deanna say, like, listen, this is how you get there. Sit down for a minute. Put your feet flat on the floor. Open up the diaphragm. I don't know how to sing. I'm just making up stuff.
That's all right. But you speak though. You know what I'm saying? You speak. And even for singers, you understand, singers' voices have to be set up you have to speak correctly, so the voice is set up to sing. So I can just open my mouth and sing. So I have to speak a certain way to do that, right? Wow. And so as you change, you said something that made the fire just poof. You said we change and we morph for people, and we're doing everything and we're doing this. But let me break something down. Your voice changes as well, literally. Literally, physically, the voice changes because it's a muscle. So what happens is it changes from what it is. Most people that use their voices don't know what it is, because as you get to yourself and center yourself, then you have to master your voice and figure out what that is, because you have people that's just for you. I have people that's out here just for me. Yeah. And our job is not to make money and be success. Our job is to get those people, because if we don't, we in trouble. Because at the end of the day, anything else is extra. We have a job to do. Yes. Your kids, your marriage, all that's extra. We have an individual job to do. Okay. And so in order to do that, we have to know who we are, and we have to understand literally our voices. So people, when I speak, you know I'm authentic. You know I'm authentic because I'm humble as because listen, if it's big, I've done it all. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And so, so if people are like, oh my gosh, you probably don't remember, listen. You do be what you, it's fine. It's totally fine. So people know with my voice, if they were blind, that I'm genuine, and I'm not judging you. I ain't tripping.
Right.
What will people think about you? And I'm just saying in general, if
Yeah.
they were blind, would
Yeah.
they feel like you're yelling at them, you're talking at them instead of talking to them? Will they feel that you have a soft side? Will they know where your empathy lies? See, that's the thing that's people that a lot of programs are missing. It's in your voice, it's in who you are. And a lot of times we're so busy trying to find all these other outside things that the whole person is out there. And we don't forgot what she looked like. We don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And don't do hair and makeup and honey, you really forget. Okay?
Yeah.
Some people get stuck in that, you see. This is where they find their new identity. So a lot of times people don't know how lost they are. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's what.
Or they don't even know they're lost. They don't even know they're lost.
No, have no idea.
This is
They're
good.
Sleepwalking.
Woo.
Yeah, I call them sleepwalkers. And some people like to stay asleep. So you know what I've done? I start sending out spiritual pillows. Baby, stay asleep. I got to move around.
Get your comfort on. Get your comfort on.
Yeah. Be comfortable.
Yes. Yeah. You guys, I'm telling you, it's getting better and better and better and better. And I'm sitting here as Miss Deanna Marie was talking. I'm going to put you on mute real quick because we're getting ready to go to the next one. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I'm going nowhere because we still got to tell everybody how to get.
I ain't going nowhere.
And so I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the speakers here, and I'm so full and I'm at peace. You know, I really don't have the words other than I'm really at peace and just sitting back and allowing and eating off of this good. It's nothing like going to a table where every dish on the table is just like, it's amazing, it's good, and it makes you feel good while you're eating it. That's how I feel right now. Like every drop that is on this table that you are getting right here in this moment on Facebook, you're getting it for free right now. And for those who are in the group, listen, if you have questions for Miss Deanna, Miss Stephanie, then go ahead and ask your questions. Miss Tamika, if you have any questions, ask them in the chat box. For those of you on Facebook, go ahead and register so you can also have the opportunity to get this up close and personal relationship going with these speakers here. If you can't tell by now, like, it's fire, right? This is amazing. This is some good stuff. And you can tell that everyone is talking from a place of experience. So it's really not about how I can make it sound good, because healing, truth be told, healing don't sound good and it don't feel good. So if you thought that you can get through, or let me go ahead and get this free stuff and then I can go ahead in my little corner, back in my corner, write my book and be okay with it, until you get back into yourself, until you go back to that intimate space that we're talking about today, then the healing can't fully develop and activate and manifest itself in your life. So next I got coming up with me, y'all. Y'all like how I do that? I just like, right? Listen. So we talked about, doing the external work and then doing the internal work and then going into that intimate space. And then we talked about how you can go in that intimate space, because that's what Deanna Marie was talking. She started in the intimate space, right? Stephanie led you there to the intimate space. Deanna, she rested. She sat down, crossed her legs, and just sat there in the intimate. Like, we're going to sit right here for about 20 minutes so that you can really understand what it's like to be you. Woo! That was good to me. We sat in about 20, 25 minutes on what it's like to be you. And so now that we're uncomfortable, right? Because if you're comfortable right now, you ain't doing it right. Now that we're uncomfortable, and now that we see that all the stuff that worketh in me, somehow all that stuff is going to be turned around and work for my good now. Because for the past 40 years, it ain't been working for my good. As a matter of fact, it's been working against me. But now you're at the Right to Heal virtual summit, And you're with people now who have taken all of those things in that intimate place. And we've learned how to take that thing. So now I come before you with someone, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself, but I'm gonna tell you, don't nobody love words like this lady love words. Okay? All right. And can't nobody take a word that you think you know what it means until she break it down to you. It's like, oh, I didn't know it really meant that. Really, she takes every syllable, every letter, and she breaks it down to a place where there's like no confusion left. And she's the word lady. And so whenever I need words, like we call ourselves the CEO trio, Stephanie, myself. And so whenever I need words, I go to Miss Tamika. I'm like, listen, these words don't seem to make sense to me. She's like, oh, and she spits it out like that. It's a gift. And when you operate in your gift, one, you're confident that you know what it is and you know where it comes from. And so it's just you being natural. It's not forced. It's not something that some pastor told you that you have. It's in that, see, when you're in that intimate space, you don't need people to tell you. I mean, it's good to get the confirmation sometimes, but really when you're in that intimate space, you don't seek to be validated. Oh my God. You just are. You just be. When my daughter, when she leaves, I just tell her, just be. Be good. Be all right. No, just be. Because God, God covers us all. So let me go ahead and enter. Come on to me, girl. Take this thing because y'all know this girl can talk.
I love it when you talk. I love it when you talk. Thank you so much, Jamie, for having me. I'm so excited. So I am Tamika L. Sims, creator of the Get Right with Tamika brand, also known as the Ink Pen Diva. And as Jamie said, I am a word lover. I'm an author and writing coach based here in South Carolina. So really excited to share on the Right to Heal Summit because this is my passion. But I am not going to belabor the time. I'm going to get right on it because I do have some notes. So you will see me look away because I'm looking at my notes just so I can stay on task because I can be a bit of a talker once that passion sort of rises up. Being true to my nature, I do have definitions. So I hope that you guys have pen and paper because it's just so important to me that we know what it is that we're talking about. So I have been tasked with sharing with you guys how to make your pain pay. And one of the things so we're going to start off by just defining what the word pain is and what the word pay means. Okay, so we're going to start off by defining pain and pay because I want you guys to be clear on that as that is the basis for the conversation that we will have over the next few minutes. And then I'm going to share specifically how I have not only been able to make my pain pay me, but how it's paid me multiple ways by building a profitable and thriving business and over again. All right, so pain, pen and paper, y'all ready? I got mine. Pain is defined as a distressing feeling, right? A distressing feeling often caused, y'all hear me, a distressing feeling often caused by intense or damaging stimuli, which means that it's external. In the context of this conversation, pain is external. So a distressing feeling often caused by an intense or damaging stimuli that is external, meaning it has happened outside of you. And when it comes to us talking about and sharing our transformational life stories and experiences, that pain, that trauma that we experience is often caused by someone else, or is often caused by some experience, or is often caused by some group of people, but it's external, it's outside of ourselves. When it comes to payment, however, pay is defined as making due return, which says to me that everything that I have experienced, every painful event, every traumatic event, every event that has caused me any form of hurt in the past or in the present, I'm in a position to make a due return on it, which means that it will pay me somehow. But here's the thing, right? And this leads me into my first point. The problem with us is that we often see our pain as some sort of prized possession. Now, I do believe that our pain is a gift, but it is not to be held onto as a prized possession. It is not some secret treasure. You don't get to lock it up in a vault and just leave it there. Our pain is designed to position us in such a way where we are able to make a due return on what it is that we have experienced. One of the things that I went through in my traumatic event was overcoming domestic violence. I was in a very abusive relationship for almost 10 years, and I held on to that pain. I held on to that experience. I held on to that event. Why? Because I thought it was just mine. I didn't see the purpose in it. I didn't understand how, God could ever use me or use it or use the situation. I didn't see the purpose in it. And when we are so close to the things that we have experienced, we can't see the purpose in it. But one of the things that I want to share with you is that there is always greater good that can come out of it. But you are in the responsible chair. You're responsible for making that pain pay you. You're responsible for getting your return. You're responsible for saying to yourself that this is not my prize, that I didn't experience and live through my life so that this could be all that there is. Deanna talked about having suicidal thoughts. I could totally relate to that, because I remember in the worst times in my relationship wanting to drive off of the bridge with my baby in the back seat. Because pain, it becomes real and it sucks the life out of you. You literally cannot catch your breath. You can't breathe. And so there's so many things that are going through your head and you have no idea how you got there. So it's not some sort of prized possession. It is a gift that can continually pay us, but it is not some sort of prized possession. The beautiful thing that I like about the Right to Heal Summit and the purpose of it is, and I have an acronym for this. I told y'all I love words, so y'all just flow with me. But I have an acronym. I have an acronym for the word right, and it's words readily improving the end. Words readily improving the end. That's what right means to me. But what's the end though? Because once we've been through an experience, and y'all hear me, once we have been through an experience, it is not the end of our lives. I thought when I was going through domestic violence that there was nothing else good that would ever come my way. I just knew that my abuser was going to kill me. I knew that he was going to destroy my family. I knew that he was going to come back and possibly cause some harm to my son, but he didn't, because that was not my end. It was the end, but it was not my end. And if you don't learn how to see your pain as a new beginning, you're always going to be stuck in the end, right? But I want to move you guys forward and show you how your pain can transition you into becoming a much better person. So words readily improving the end. What is the end? The end of your pain, the end of a particular season, the end of an experience, the end of a relationship, because with pain comes grief, comes loss, comes love, comes hurt, comes anger, and you experience a myriad of emotions as you are walking out of it. But what happens for you, and this is the good part, what happens is the decision that you make after the end. Because you can choose, it's one or two routes you can go. You can either stay there, you can stay stuck in that pain, or you can make the decision to move forward. Because what's set before you is both options. But it's what's in you. Stephanie talked about that intimate space in you that guides you and says, Tamika, we're not going to stay stuck here. I told God, I said, if you let me live throughout this abusive incident, throughout this I was physically and sexually assaulted. And I said, if you let me live out of this experience, I know that you have something good for me. And so, y'all, that was my prayer. I couldn't say anything else to God that night. As a matter of fact, I didn't want anything else to do with him. I wanted nothing to do with God. I didn't care nothing about reading no Bible, praying, going to church. I wasn't in that no more, because see, my abuser was a member of the faith community. He was a deacon in the church. So there was that personal hurt and there was that church hurt. And then you throw God in the mix, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't got nothing to do with you. If this is what you let me go through, I don't want nothing to do with you. You don't love me. You're not my, y'all, I said it all. That was my rock bottom. But it's the decision that you make after the end. It's the decision and the choice that you make to move forward after you have endured that painful experience. And that's what I did. And I have never looked back. To this day, I have not looked back. I did not realize that my life would lead me to this moment. I did not realize my one abusive relationship would position me on this very profitable path that I am on right now. I did not realize that me going through that experience would lead to me writing my first book. That one book has now led to my 5th book being released this year. That one book having led to me launching a business where not only did I have the opportunity to tell my story, but I get an opportunity every single day to help people tell their stories. Y'all, what started off as a side hustle, think about it, painful relationship, painful experience, making the decision to move forward, writing my first book, to launching a business as a side hustle, to now celebrating 2 years of full-time entrepreneurship in April, all because I made a decision to move forward. It would have been easy for me to stay stuck in that painful place. That would have been easy because that requires no effort. Quitting when you are in the thick of it is easy. But making the choice to move forward and to live your life in a purposeful way is hard. And I'm not on this summit to tell you guys that it's been easy. I'm not on this summit to say, oh my gosh, I get to, be a full-time entrepreneur and, do this every day. No, there was a lot of internal work that I had to do in order to get here, in order to reconnect with the woman that Tamika was originally created to be, because when I was in that situation, he was changed. Do you know what I mean? I tell people all the time that he and I were 2 separate beings, but we transformed and we morphed into becoming one soul. And y'all, we were never even married. We were never married, but we transitioned into becoming one soul. It wasn't a decision that he made. It was a decision that I made. So I took ownership of that. But I also knew that if I took ownership of that pain, I also know that I had to take ownership of my future. And that's what I did. I wasn't thinking about my son. People ask me, Tamika, did you get up and decide to face the next day because of your son? No, it wasn't because I had a very good job. I had a great job. It was because I realized that I had to choose me. And in order to make your pain give you the return that you are due, you are going to have to get to this space where you are choosing yourself above anybody else. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you have children. I don't care about your family. I'm talking about you. I made a decision to choose myself, and my life changed. Not only do I get to do this business, not only do I get to help people tell their stories, I've been all over television and radio, in the media, talking about my experience. So I've been able to position myself as an expert here locally for domestic and sexual violence. I have traveled. I have been invited to share my story. I help clients from all over the world outside of the United States. I have made my pain pay me, and it is continually paying me, so much so that I am positioning myself, and I'm gonna say this on the summit because I'm just bold enough to do this, that I am becoming America's, y'all ready for this? I am becoming America's leading author coach. That's who I'm becoming. That's how my pain has positioned me. That's how my pain is paying me. It's given me an opportunity. It's given me a platform. It's given me a voice, Deanna. It's given me a space. It's helped me to create a lane where I get opportunities to come back and then say, here is how I have been able to do it. Right? Because I chose to make that external, intense, damaging stimuli, and I chose to make it give me my due return. And I'm challenging all of you today. I'm challenging all of you today to make your pain give you your due return. Make your pain give you your due return.
Yo.
Drop the pen. I need to do that. Listen,
Yes.
I feel that is that so strongly for somebody. We get so caught up in what we've gone through. We get so caught up in what we've experienced. But no, you make it pay you. You make it pay you back. And I mean, you make it pay you royally. Make it pay.
And it's time. And it's time.
Yes.
Listen, Tamika. Listen, girl. I told y'all she was a word person. Like, she loved words, right?
I'm a word person.
And so when she took WRITE, the acronym for WRITE, she said, words readily improving the end. Let me put a pin right there. Can we talk about that just real brief? Because I know it's
put a pin right there.
I know it's past time. You got to get back to work. Like your hours up. You got to go back to work. But for those who can stick around and those who are going to come back and watch the replay, words readily improving the end. The beautiful thing about this thing right here, which is an ink pen, the beautiful thing about this is you get to write the rest of your story.
That's right.
So what ended with that rape, what ended with that relationship, what ended with that job that didn't really pay you well anyway, and they fired you on your day off, what ended what ended with that thing, with that loved one who passed away, what ended with that thing that caused distress in your soul and in your mind, and where you stopped living, you now have the authority, the ability to write again.
Yes.
So it ended with that, but now this is how I want it to move forward. This is how I want it to look.
Don't make me come up with an acronym for rewrite. Don't make me come up with an acronym for rewrite, honey. Yes.
I'm about to rewrite my history. So what I'm doing now in the future is going to be my past.
That's right.
I am now living in my new past, and I get to determine what that past looked like now. In my present, I get to, so when I look back on this moment, I can say, oh, that was a good time that I had with those 4 beautiful ladies. And they told me that I didn't have to live in my pain anymore. And this was the deciding moment that I made. The end, today is the end. I made the decision to live again. Woo!
And I did, and I have been living every day since. I have been walking in my power, my authority, and who I am as a woman, as a person, as a business owner, as a leader. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that literally, because I made the decision to choose myself, so many other women and men after me or following me have also made that decision. So you get to be this catalyst for impact for generations to come because you made one choice yourself.
Yes. And you know, Tamika, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I want to unmute the other ladies. I want to bring them back on because now is the deciding factor. You know how you go to church and you get all the good singing, right? And you get the good preached word, and then at the end they do an altar call.
Yes.
Now is the time. Decision. Come on, say it now. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it. Now is the time to you thought you would just come in to sit and to eat and you know, fill your belly up. But you know, there's a time after you've eaten when you're full, and the next thing you have to do from being full is you gotta let go some stuff, right? So that you can pack some more in. Now is the time to decide what you want to do with your book, what you want to do with your pain, what you want to do with your life, your relationships, your career, you know, everything that's connected to your joy, your happiness, your peace, your clarity, your journey to you. Now is the time to decide. And so we make the decision quite easy around here in these parts of the Right to Heal Summit, because I have 3 beautiful ladies here who were created, designed, predestined. That's my favorite word.
That's good.
It is.
To serve you. To serve you, and to serve you from a place where I ain't letting you go until you do it. I ain't letting you go. You know how you pray to the Lord and say, God ain't gonna let you go until you bless me. These ladies are like that in their service to you. They're not letting go until you get what is rightfully yours. So Stephanie, tell people how they can work one-on-one with you.
Hey guys, so I just want to say that this has been an enlightening experience. It's been such an opportunity, and I think what people have to remember when they're walking away is see yourself as a person who had this experience and is coming out on the other side of it having tools, resources, but they're not tangible yet. If you sign up bit.ly WTH Summit 19, you will get tangible tools. But the intangible tools that have happened, that have been given to you all today, are literally keys that unlock, right? They're keys that unlock your future. And so one of the ways that we are also giving you a key is to get in touch with us, to work with us so that you can see your future as your now. Right? Your future doesn't have to be off in a place where you can't touch it and grab it. You can bring your future into your now. I am starting, I am going to give the WTH Summit a quick preview of my Valentine's Day special, the Love, Legacy, and Wealth package. And you guys it's a package where you get to figure out what you're going to write about, how you going to, mainly I focus on get paid. So my company, literally we are a technology company that supports people who want to get paid for what they do. So and there's a whole, if you go to my website, bit.ly, the Legacy Builder, you will be able to see that special package on the front page of my website. And it will outline specifically what you get that will help you get paid from writing.
That is, I gotta get my. And Miss Deanna, how can people work one-on-one with you?
Hi, you guys. I haven't left them right here. I know you guys are like, oh Lord, here she's a live one. I know. I actually have a wonderful webinar coming up. Listen, you can look right on my website at DeannaMarie.com. You also, if you do use your voice and you want weekly vocal tips, you can find me. You want to like my Deanna Marie at the Gift of Voice page on Facebook, and also on Instagram as well. So if there's tips and things that I'm sure that we don't think about when it comes to strengthening our voice. So if you want some tips, just things to do, things to make you say, okay, go ahead and like at the Gift of Voice, and you can find me. So again, go to DeannaMarie.com if you're interested in this wonderful webinar. It's going to be a life altering. So I can't wait to see you guys there.
Yay! And Miss Tamika.
So I don't have a website. I'm working on it. Stephanie's like, oh my gosh, girl, we got to get your website.
Apparently, you don't need a website. You got international people, so there's still a way to get in contact with them.
Hello, somebody. So listen. I have available book writing strategy sessions for those who are interested in writing their book for and making and becoming published this year. If you're interested in writing a book, you've been talking about it for years, haven't made any steps, no words on a page, it's just a thought in your mind. I'm your girl to help you outline it, strategize it, get it done. And to connect with me, you can please feel free to send me an email, which is Tamika@inkpendiva.com, Tamika@inkpendiva.com.
Yeah.
Or slide in the DMs, that works too.
Yeah. Slide in the DM.
Slide in the DMs, that works too.
Well, ladies, I wanted to take this time to thank you so much for your service today. Thank you for sticking it out. You know, we were here longer than an hour, you know, but I really appreciate your service. I thank you for pouring out your heart, you know, being with and answering the call to being on this platform. So thank you so much. Hey, for those who are in Facebook land, thank you for watching us. Thank you for doing the watch parties, all of the comments, all of the hearts. I see it. You saw me looking over here a lot. I'm looking at my second screen over here. I'm looking at all the love. I'm looking at all of the people who can relate to what's being put down here at the Right to Heal Summit. So I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. I want you to know that this video will be removed very soon from Facebook, because those who have registered, they get this for free, for a lifetime, in a vault, you know, and if you register at bit.ly WTH Summit 19, you get to come back and listen. And then, you know, because we kind of like talk really fast and maybe rush through some things. You know how you watch the movie like 5 times and then the 5th time you caught something that you didn't catch on the first slide? That's what these replays do. And so you want to be able to, because there are going to be times when you get stuck again. It happens. Go back to this replay and say, hey, Miss Deanna, I remember she said something. Let me go and see what she said. So if you want the replays, people, you got to register bit.ly WTH Summit 19. I'll be back before you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have more powerhouses on. Like, I'm coming before you all week, yo. I'm blowing up your timeline all week this week, Valentine's week. Why? Because, you know, while the world is focusing on loving somebody else, we're going to be focusing on loving you. It's about time, right? So catch me back here, same time. No, not the same time. 7 p.m., right? Right? Same channel. That's the same. That ain't going to change. Same time tomorrow if you want to catch me. But for those who are registered, again, you got to register, get the replay to get up close and personal. Oh, and then guess what we're giving the registrants, y'all? We're giving them a speaker guidebook. So all of the speakers that are going to be on the stage this whole week, they get, again, a guidebook where they can contact them and, you know, be in touch, you know, because sometimes the work has to start, but you need a support system. And that's what these speakers are here to do. So I see you back here tonight at 7 p.m. at the Right to Heal Summit. Thank you guys for joining us. I love you so much. And see you on the inside. Bye.